Hi all and welcome to another live English pronunciation training. In this video I'm going to give you a live tutorial and a live training to learn the I diphthong in English. This is the I sound as in cry or my, or most importantly I as in I am Michael. So what I'm going to do is go through in much more detail. Hi, thanks for tuning in. What I'm going to do is go Hi, thanks for tuning in. What I'm going to do is go through in much more detail the tutorial that I posted on the channel last week. And what I'm going to do is go through the 5-step process and actually give you all of the sounds in a bit more detail, all of the words, the sentences, for you to really practice along with me so you can get the most from the tutorial and then implement this really essential sound into your English speech. So we'll get straight into your English speech. So we'll get straight into it. What we're going to do is start by warming up the lips. We're going to do a couple of exercises just to warm up the lips and then the tongue. Then I'm going to walk you through both of the sounds that make up this diphthong, which is the A sound and the I sound in English. Then we're going to put the two sounds together to make the diphthong, and I'm going to give you a couple of really useful exercises for that. And then I'm going to put the diphthong into words, and then finally into sentences. So I'm going to be talking for a little while, and what I really want you to do to get the most from this training is to follow along with me, follow along with exactly what I'm doing, do the exercises, and it's really going to enable you to get the most from this training and make the biggest improvements in your English speech. So I know who's tuning in. Say hi in the comments below, ask me any questions, and also let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm doing this video live from a place called Shoreham, which is near to London in England, but we're on the coast. So I've got the sea just literally outside this flat here on one side, and I've got the river on the other side. So it's a really nice place. Let me know what country you're watching from, and then if there's any specific advices I can give for your native language, then I'll do that too. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get started with the tutorial. So we're going to start by warming up the lips. So what I want you to do is repeat after me. E-U, 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 E-U. Okay? Next, we're going to do another exercise to warm up the lips, like this. I, e, a, e, 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 I. Okay, that's warming up the front of the mouth. We can also warm up the back of the mouth by going u, o, a, o, u, o, a, o, u, o, a, o, u, o, a, o, u. Okay, and you should already be feeling your lips starting to warm up now. We're now going to move on to warming up the tongue, and we're going to do the following. Put your tongue out, and then stick it up to your nose, down to your chin. We're going to do that 5 times each, then 5 times left, 5 to right. It'd look like this. And then okay, now you should be feeling that in the tongue. This is a warm-up exercise that you should do before you always do your English pronunciation training. And the reason why is it's going to enable you to actually just warm up the speech organs, just like you'd warm up your muscles if you're going to go and do a load of exercise. So it just enables you to get the most out of it and really train your muscles and speech organs in the most effective way. Okay. You can do these exercises for a bit longer to warm up, but to get right into the exercise now, I'm going to jump forward and actually get started with the lesson. So, the I diphthong. I. There are two sounds that make up this diphthong, and they are the a sound, and the I sound, I. So I'm going to break down both of these sounds. Now to begin with, I'm going to say something very important. In standard British English, the kind of standard English that you hear people reading the news with, when I say I, if you look at my mouth, it's the sound, but it is slightly more towards the sound in English. So if you think of as in run or cut, cup, up, and when I put the sound into this diphthong, it kind of comes from halfway in between the two. So if you think of run comes from the back of your mouth, and comes from the front of your mouth, I. My mouth is completely wide open for this one. And just look where my tongue is. I. Okay, it doesn't sound like this. It's not my. It's not the sound in English. It's not actually quite like that. It's more open. My mouth is more open. Look at this compared. My, correct. I. That's not correct, okay? It's not like I. So if you look at how my lips are for where it's not correct, that's incorrect. This is correct. Just put your lips in this position now. Okay. Let's now move on to the I sound, and then we'll put them both together, okay? So the I sound is pretty standard in English. Very, very common sound and very important sound to learn. I. It's a short English vowel sound. I. Okay? I. Look how my lips are. I. They're almost completely closed. My mouth is wide apart and my mouth is very closed together. I. Okay? My tongue is right at the front of my mouth. I. In fact, when I do it, the tongue is actually touching the back of the teeth. I. Okay? Hi there, thanks for tuning in. I. Now, one of the biggest difficulties I hear most people having when they make this sound is they don't actually make the I sound correctly. They try and rush it, and as a result, they just don't make it correctly. So it's really, really worth making the effort to get this sound in particular correct. I. If not, the diphthong will never sound correct. An important point to mention is that most languages have a sound like this, I. Your language might have a sound like it. It might have the I vowel sound, but chances are that vowel sound will be pronounced slightly differently to how we pronounce it in English. So it's very important that you learn the English pronunciation for it so that it actually sounds natural and correct in your English speech. All right, I've been working with a few different clients recently, and one of them, we've been looking at a few different sounds in English, and what he realised was he's from Russia, and one of the sounds in his own language actually comes from quite a different place in the throat to where it comes from in English, and that was really affecting how his speech was sounding. So by getting clear on actually making the English version of it, it's made a really big difference. So I really encourage you to get both of these vowel sounds in the correct position before moving on. So, sit, it, bit. And if you want more tutorials specifically on the I sound, they'll be linked above once I've done the live tutorial. So now let's put them together. I. What I'm going to do is give you a couple of different exercises here to go through them both and get comfortable putting the sounds together. I'm going to start by alternating between the two different sounds. Ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I. Can you see that my tongue is staying at the front of my mouth for both sounds? Ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I. If I look sideways, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, you should see that my jaw is just opening, closing, but it's staying in a very similar position in terms of it coming from the front of the mouth. It's not coming from the back of the mouth. Ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I. Okay, make sure you're following along with me and actually doing this as I'm doing it, and that way you're going to get the most from it and actually get comfortable doing this yourself. Okay, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I, ah, I. The next thing is to actually practice going between the two sounds. So practice along with me now, and also comment below how are you finding it so far. Are you having difficulty with either of these two sounds? If so, let me know in the comments below what the difficulties are. But if you're finding it good, let me know too, and then we can carry on. So now watch me looking sideways, going between the two sounds, but making them together as one diphthong. I, 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 I. Now looking at the camera. I. Okay. I. Tongue is at the front of the mouth and my jaw is just going up between the two. If I do it super slowly, follow along with me here. I, my, cry, die, fly. Okay, can you see that after every sound, my mouth is going back to the same position to start the diphthong correctly? And that's a very important point. When you're doing, when you're making vowel sounds, it's very important that you actually work out, that you check that your mouth is going into the correct position after you've made the consonant before it. What will probably happen is when you make this I diphthong and actually start putting it into your English speech, if you go through every single consonant in the alphabet before this diphthong, you'll find that some consonants are harder to get correct with this diphthong than others. So what you might find is that the I sound, you're comfortable making that, but after certain letters in English like M, my, or L, fly, or lie, you might find that it's more difficult to make. So what you want to do as a next step is, once you're comfortable making the diphthong correctly, I, is you then go through and put it after every single consonant in the English language and record yourself doing it, but also feel how it's sounding, and then get clear on actually, okay, which consonants do I find it hardest to get the sound correctly after I've said the consonants. And then what you can do is you can isolate those and focus on those, because that's where you're going to really need to make the biggest difference in your English pronunciation training. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, we've now got comfortable making the diphthong, and let me know in the comments below. I hope you're finding it comfortable too at this stage. If not, any difficulties, just put them below and I can address those now. But what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to some words that actually contain the diphthong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 10 words, and I'm going to repeat them 2 or 3 times each time. Say them slowly and at native speed as well, so you can hear the diphthong being used correctly in English speech and actually see what these sound like. If you're tuning in, good morning, KH, how are you? Thanks for commenting. If you're watching a replay of this in due course, welcome back. How do I pronounce that correctly? Nioh Maru? Let me know that I'm pronouncing that correctly. For those that end up watching a replay of this and not live, this is an extended version of the short I tutorial that I put on the channel at the end of last week before last. But I want to unpack it in a lot more detail so you can follow along and actually really learn it correctly, okay? So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for commenting, guys. Let me know how you're finding the tutorial so far. And now, thank you for the thumbs up. Now we're going to put the I diphthong into 10 different words, okay? In fact, I'm going to do 11, so I'm going to give you a bonus word. So we're going to start with one of the most common words in the English language, and for every person that speaks English, this will be an important word for them, and it's I. Okay, nearly everyone likes talking about themselves in some way or another, so it's very important when you say I that you get that word correctly. So let's look at my mouth slowly. And this sound is simply the diphthong itself. So actually we shouldn't need to take too long on this one. I. Look how my lips, they start very open, but then they go wider as we go through the sound. I. A really important sentence you can practice putting this in is I'm from your country. Let's try that now. Wherever you're from, repeat after me. I'm from. Thank you for the comment. Thank you. I really appreciate your help. It's much appreciated. I'm pleased that you're tuning in and actually making the effort to improve your English pronunciation. All of you that are watching this and actually making the effort to improve your pronunciation, it's going to put you miles ahead of people that don't try to improve their pronunciation, okay? So really well done to you for making the effort to improve it, and I'm pleased that I'm able to help you make that improvement. Okay, so I'm from, get comfortable saying that, repeat after me. I'm from, but what I want you to do now is say your country. I'm from. Okay? Another example, and that's I am, that's what it's short for, I'm. Another thing you could do is say, and this is if you're having conversational things in English, or if you're meeting someone for the first time, and you start having some light general conversation, you can say, I like. So think about your favourite food. What's your favourite food in English? And just say that now. I like. Right? Next, think about your favourite hobby in English. I like. Or, if you love it, I love. If you love football, for example, you can say, I love football. If you like cooking, I love cooking. Me, I love music, so I can say, I love music. So what you can do is just write down a list of things that you can say, I like. Write down a list of 5 things that you like, a list of 5 things that you love, and get comfortable saying them correctly with I. And that's going to give you, 1, lots of things that you can use in English speech when you're having a conversation, but 2, it's going to drill your pronunciation of I. Okay, next word is going to be, what have we got down here? Hi. hi, hi, hi. So when you meet someone for the first time, you can say hi, 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 hi. Then to build on this one, you can say, hi, I'm Michael, or whatever your name is. And again, practice saying this now. Hi, I'm. Okay. To all of those that you're watching, can you just comment below and let me know that I'm going at a good pace for you? I want to make sure that I'm not being too slow, but also that I'm going at a quick enough speed to give you lots of value, but at the same time I'm not going too fast that you're not able to keep up. So let me know, give a thumbs up or let me know below that I'm going at a good pace for you, okay? So it's a good pace? Perfect, we'll keep it like this. So repeat after me again, 2 more times. Hi, I'm. Okay. Next word is going to be my. Okay. Have we already done that one? I think we might have already done that one, haven't we? So we'll just do that quickly. My name is. My name is. My. Look at my tongue. My name is. My name is Michael. Nice to meet you. Or if someone says, whose are these keys? You can say, they're mine. They're mine. They're mine. Okay, my, it's mine. Whose top is that? It's mine. Whose coffee is that? It's mine. Mine, mine, mine. And again, when you're going through these, just really make sure that you're making the diphthong correctly and that you're feeling how natural it feels after this sound. So for example, if you've just had difficulty with the I sound after the M sound, then you know that you need to work on that one. But with hi, if you find that easy, then that might be good. Just as a note, I know a lot of people struggle with the H sound, huh, because it's often pronounced very differently in other languages. So if it's pronounced differently in your language, get comfortable in saying hi, 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 because there's lots of other words in English that would have that particular combination of sounds. Height, heighten, hike, okay? Let's look at the next word. Pie, 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 pie. So P is a plosive sound in English. P, p, p. Airflow stops and then explodes out. Pie, 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 pie. Okay. I love pie. I love pie. Pie. Or what would a word be with pie in it? Pine, pine. Pine is a kind of wood in English. Pine, pine, pine. And can you see through all of this, my lips are doing exactly the same thing after each consonant, okay? My lips are always doing the same thing. I. The next word we're going to look at is might. 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 Okay, so we're building on my here. Might. 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 So hopefully you've got comfortable making the M sound. Remember with M, it's a nasal sound, so the M comes out your nose. When you say M, if you pinch your nose and stop airflow, no air should be able to come out your mouth. So if I say M, okay, it stops completely. So with the M sound, airflow is 100% coming out your nose. My, might. Hi Gabrielle, thanks for tuning in. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know which country you're tuning in from. My, might, 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 might. I might go to the shops later. I might go to the shops later. Could you please help me to recognise these sounds without seeing the dictionary? Could you explain what you mean there, just in a bit more detail, just so I understand what you mean? 'Cause I'm not quite sure I understand that question. Do you mean about without having to look at the spelling in the dictionary or the pronunciation in the dictionary? Is that the question? Just let me know. I might go back to London later. Okay, that's might. The next word, flight, 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 flight. This is a bit more difficult, this word, because we've got two consonants together. It's a consonant cluster, and we've got the F and then the L. L. Are you from Brazil? Tudo bom? Eu morava no Brasil. Thank you for coming in from Brazil, and a big hi there. I miss Brazil. Flight, flight, flight. Okay, I'm saying this really slowly because it's a difficult one to make correctly. Flight, 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 flight. Okay. I took a flight last week. I took a flight last week. Or I love flights. I love flying. I love flying. Okay? Just to make that word a bit easier, or give a different word but similar example, let's look at the word fight. 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 Okay? So you could say fight or flight is our natural instincts. When we're in a situation, we can either fight or flight. Okay? Or you could say, I hate fighting. I hate fighting. Or maybe you love fighting. 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 Okay? That's fight. How you, is it like flying? It is like flying. But if I say it, can everyone listen in here? Flying, flying. Do you hear me say the Y sound twice? Flying, flying. Or do you hear me say it once? Flying. That's a good question actually, because fly is spelt F-L-I. So this diphthong is fly. So fly, fly. The Y sound, the y, that actually only appears once in that sound, and that's when you say ying, ying, ying. So the actual fly itself, I love to fly, there's no Y sound there, it's just this I diphthong. I love to fly. Flying, 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 flying. Ah, okay. So, good question. Thanks. I want to make sure I'm making the name correctly. Is it Neof? Let me know that I'm making it correctly. Okay. So to answer your question about the dictionary, as I'm sure you know, every word in the dictionary has a load of squiggles next to it and some symbols. That is the phonetic spelling of the word. And really, there's no easy way in English to tell the pronunciation, to correctly tell the pronunciation of every word without looking it up. And the reason is because unfortunately with English, it's not a phonetic language. So if you take the spelling combination as an example, well, even this one here, fly, F-L-Y, neomal. Is that right? Neomal. If with this one here, fly, which has this I sound in it, the I sound is spelt Y in this word. It's spelt with a Y. If I say I, it's just a I sound. It's just an I letter in English. I. Excellent. Glad I got it. So this is the difficulty. And another example, the O-U-G-H spelling combination in English, as in thought, T-H-O-U-G-H, there it's or. But then there's about 6 other different combinations, or even more. Oh, you're in the UK too. Good stuff. Whereabouts? There's actually about 6 or 7 different pronunciation combinations of this combination. So O-U-G-H could be pronounced ow, o, or. There's other ones too without pausing to actually think here. So the answer to your question, how can you correctly look up or correctly know the pronunciation of each word without looking in the dictionary, the only way to do it without looking in the dictionary is just to listen for these words in English speech. If you hear someone saying a new word, like, I don't know, seaside, for example, you might think, okay, that's how the word is pronounced. But I would always recommend, when you come across a new word, looking it up in the dictionary just simply to make sure that the spelling is correct, because of the way that English works, in that it's not a phonetic language. And it's a shame that it's not. I know it makes it so much harder to learn, and there's so many different exceptions to the rule, but unfortunately that's the way it is. So we just have to work out what can we do to overcome that, and the best way to overcome that, I'm afraid, is to look in the dictionary. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. Let me know if it does. I'm going to crack on with some more words here. So now we're going to look at, no worries for being late. This will be up after I've finished the tutorial. I'm going to repost it to the YouTube channel so you can watch it in full. Okay, so don't worry, you've not missed out. So we're now going to look at a couple of words with the I sound at the end of the word. Okay, so instead of having it in the first syllable, where it's like I, first syllable, syllable 1, it's going to be in the second syllable of the word. So let's look at the word delight. Okay, delight. We can start, and this is how I'd recommend this. When you're learning any sound in English where it comes in a second or third syllable in a word, start by practicing that syllable on its own and getting comfortable with it, and then put the syllable in front of it. So with delight, we will start by learning the word light, 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 light. And only when we're comfortable with that word will we then look at the syllable before it, which is duh, duh, duh. Okay, so let's double check. Light, 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 light. Follow along with me. If you're just tuning in now, say hi from wherever you're from, and give a thumbs up, and follow along. Copy the exercises that I'm doing here to make sure that you're doing them correctly with me, okay? So hopefully you can now say light, okay? Light. The next thing is to say duh, 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 delight, 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 delight. Okay, I'm saying this as slowly as I can. Delight, 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 delight. Okay, that's it there, delight. All right, let's move on to another word now. This time we're going to look at the word supply, supply, supply. Thank you for the thumbs up. Keep them coming. So this time, what is the second syllable of that word? It is the syllable, and actually a word in itself, lie, 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 lie. So this could be I lie on the floor, I lie down when I go to sleep, I lie. It could also be different spelling here, I think, without something to think, then just forget about that bit. But it could also, different word, he told a lie, he told a lie, he told a lie, 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 lie. Okay, now let's put it into the whole word. So the first syllable of the word supply is s, 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 s. So what we do is we put them together. Supply, supply, supply. What I've actually done there, and I'm sorry, that's my mistake, is I've missed out the P sound in the beginning. So we had lie, then what we'd do is step 2 for this word is we'd add the P sound in. Ply, 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 ply. So when you get a consonant cluster like this, where it's 2 different consonants, it can be useful to get the first consonant correct, lie, then the second consonant in that cluster, pla, pla, pla. Essas são que você descreve simples da palavra sapro. Sapro? Could you just explain that in fact, could you explain that in English, and then I'll explain that so everyone can understand. I'm sorry, I misunderstood the last bit there. So ply, pla, 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 ply, and then we go to supply, supply, supply. Me desculpe, é problema foi meu. Ply, 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 supply, supply, supply. In a sentence, I supply products. I supply products. Or I supply English pronunciation lessons. I supply English pronunciation lessons. Think of a common phrase that you hear in business is supply and demand. Supply and demand. When supply outstrips demand, then it's very good for whoever's business it is. Supply and demand. Okay? Next, and also just a useful thing to be aware of, these 3 words that I'm giving you here, delight, supply, and the word that I'm about to give you, the sound in all of these, the vowel sound that comes before the second syllable is the schwa sound. So even though it's spelt as delight, it's spelt as an E, supply, it's spelt as a U, and the next one I'm going to give you is apply, which is spelled as an A, we're using the schwa sound for all of them, okay? So this word, the next word is apply, apply, apply. And again, we start with lie, 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 lie. I won't spend so long explaining this one because we've already done lie. So step 1, lie. Step 2, and follow along with me here, ply, 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 ply. Okay, and word step 3, schwa sound in English, apply, 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 apply. And just another thing to be aware of, which will help with your pronunciation, delight, supply, apply. What can you hear? Where's the stress in each of these words? Is the stress on the first syllable or is the stress on the second syllable? Comment below, let me know what you hear. Is the stress on the first syllable or the second? It's the same in all 3 of these words. Just have a think and let me know. Apply, supply, delight. Where do you hear the stress? Stress, yes, you're right, the stress is in the second. Well done, you're absolutely correct there, well done for that. That shows that your hearing is correct, because also saying it at native speed, yep, thank you Akane too, you're also correct, it is the second. And if you can hear me saying it at native speed, which is what I did there, and you got that correct, then that's really, really good. Yep, you're all right, it is the second. Thank you and well done. That's if you can hear me getting that correct, then you've got that right. Are there any words that you think have this sound in that you want me to say for you whilst we're on camera now? If there are, put them in your comments below, because the last word that I gave you in the actual tutorial, the short tutorial that I posted last week for this one, was my name, which has got the I sound in, which is Michael. But I'm sure you don't want me to stand here saying Michael for the next 5 minutes. So if there's any words that you want me to pronounce that you think have this I sound in, just put them below and I'll read them out to you now. But if not, then what we will do is we'll just move on to a couple of sentences that you can use that have this diphthong in. Okay. So what I'm going to say is sentence 1, and again, these sentences, they don't need to make sense. The important thing here is that the sentences just contain the sound in lots of different examples, so you get comfortable using it in speech. So what I'm going to say is Michael got a fly in his eye. So the I sound is in 3 words there. Michael got a fly in his eye. Okay, let's go. Nice and slowly to begin with. Michael got a fly in his eye. Michael got a fly in his eye. Michael got a fly in his eye. One more time, a bit quicker. Michael got a fly in his eye. Michael got a fly in his eye. Perfect. Yep, you've heard that and spelt it correctly. Perfect. Michael got a fly in his eye. Thank you everyone for commenting. I really appreciate your participation. It enables me to see that you're keeping up with the video and that I'm helping you to actually get it correct. So thanks for commenting and keep the comments coming. Perfect. Michael, you're right there. The only thing is the spelling of Michael is just not quite correct. It was actually correct in the comment before. The spelling for Michael is M-I-C-H-A-E-L. And that is no worries at all. You don't need to apologise. But that's a prime example of why you need to look up the pronunciation of these words in the dictionary, because if I was to read that word in English, I might think that was a name from a different country, and I'd pronounce that Mackle. Okay, maybe there even is a name with that, Mackle, in a different country. So that, just going back to the earlier question about looking up all the pronunciation of words, always look them up in the dictionary. Okay, that's a winner's tip. So another sentence now. So I'm going to say, I delight in supplying. What am I going to delight in supplying? Flights. I delight in supplying flights. I delight in supplying flights. Really slowly. Well, my phone's on, I'm recording this on my phone. It's on less than 10% battery. So if it cuts out, that's why. And I'll finish this up. I'll round this up here quickly, unless I can plug my phone in. I'm just going to see if I can plug my phone in. Just bear with me 1 sec, just to actually keep the broadcast going a bit longer. Just bear with me 1 sec. What I'm going to have to do is just bring the camera down. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for not running off. I'm going to bring the camera down to a different position so I can plug my phone in so we can finish this tutorial without having to rush. So just whilst I'm plugging this in, just practice what I was saying to you there. I delight in supplying flights. I delight in supplying flights. Right, bear with me. I delight in supplying flights. So what I'm going to do is keep this back here and plug this in here. Excellent. Right. I delight in supplying. Okay. I delight, nice and slowly. I delight in supplying flights. I delight in supplying flights. Okay. Have a think now. See if you can give me a sentence. Put a comment in below in the sentence. Put a sentence in the comments below, and I'll read it out for you if you'd like me to do that with a specific kind containing this sound, and then I can read it out for you to make sure that you've got it correct. Okay, is there any words that you think contain this sound that you would like me to read out to you so that you can hear me pronouncing them correctly with English pronunciation? If so, comment them below. Now, here's your homework. It's Monday today, so what I want for you to be able to do is focus on this sound for the rest of the week. Focus on pronouncing this sound. Sight, okay? Great example. Sight, 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 sight. Okay, what I could say, for example, is the view was a magnificent sight. The view was a magnificent sight. Or the word for in English is website for a page on the internet. I've got a website. My website is called English School Online. That's my website. Website, website. And here's a useful tip. In common speech in English, when you're talking about websites on the internet, you normally shorten that phrase to that word site, site, site. So if I was having difficulties with my website, I could say to you, oh man, I'm having crazy difficulties with my site. Okay, I'm having difficulties with my site. Sight, sight, sight. Sight from the eyes. When someone goes blind, they lose their sight, but also sight on the internet. Okay, thank you for posting that good example. So what I was saying there is, don't rush your pronunciation practice. It's worth learning a sound correctly and putting in the time and the effort to learn it correctly before moving on to the next one. If you do that, what you do is, one, you learn the sound correctly, but two, you can actually then focus on implementing it correctly into your speech. And over time, you can build positive habits around each new sound. And then before you know it, after a few months of doing this one sound at a time correctly, you've just transformed your English pronunciation and English speech. That's much better than learning a new sound today and then moving on to a new sound tomorrow. Because if you do that, yes, you might be able to make some quick wins, but if you don't focus on getting the sound correct in your pronunciation, you're just not going to make the necessary improvements before moving on to the next sound. Okay, so that's a really important tip. So what I say, the homework from today. The homework from today, go back through this lesson. This tutorial was a much longer classroom tutorial of the video that I posted at the end of the week before last on YouTube for the I diphthong. So all of this stuff is in there just in a much more concise fashion. So study that. There's lesson notes there, and there's lesson notes for this tutorial on the website, on my site, English School Online as well. So go there and just go through, focus on making this particular sound your homework for this week, okay? Don't rush it, make the effort to get it right. One of the guys I'm working with at the moment, he's been putting 45 minutes a day, at least 45 minutes a day, into his practice. And we've just been focusing on one particular sound, but over the course of just a week, only a week, he's gone from having dreadful difficulties in a really difficult sound for him and for speakers of his native language to saying this sound incredibly professionally. And if I heard him using that in normal English speech, I'd have thought, wow, that's really, really impressive. So it goes to show that if you put the effort, put in the time and the effort to learn these sounds one at a time, progress happens quickly, okay? So please do give a thumbs up if you've liked the video. Also, if you know anyone else that could benefit from these tutorials, thank you very much. I'm really pleased to hear that you've enjoyed them. Thanks very much. Please do share the tutorial with anyone that could help, anyone that could improve their pronunciation. Also, let me know what you found useful about what I've done here. I'm always trying to make these lessons more practical, more effective. So let me know what you've liked about this lesson. If you would have liked me to have done anything differently, also let me know in the comments below. Before we go any further, thank you for saying thank you. Before we do go any further, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me? If so, I'm here now live. So, excellent. Thank you very much, Akane. Thank you very much. if you have any comments, now's the time to ask them whilst I'm here live. If not, I will be checking comments over the next week, so let me know. But now's the time whilst I'm here. I will be posting the next tutorial for the next diphthong in English on Wednesday. Okay, so on Wednesday evening, there'll be a new tutorial coming out on the channel here, so make sure to come back for that. But for now, just really focus on this sound, okay? Really focus on this sound, and it's going to make a massive, massive difference. There's going to be another live training like this next week, okay? I'll put the details about that below, but what I want to know from you is I'm going to probably bring it forward to 9 a.m. UK time. So that'll be 9 a.m. next Monday morning. So just work out that wherever you're watching this from now, whichever country you're in, that'll be 2 hours earlier. Just take that into consideration, because I really like doing these tutorials live to you, so you can I can interact with you and actually hear how you're getting on, or see how you're getting on in real time. So let me know. Yeah, for this week, just do the practice. I'm here to help. I want to. I've learned a lot from your videos. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chow. Thank you. And actually, now's a good time to mention this. The channel recently passed 1,000 subscribers. The week before last, we passed 1,000 subscribers, and I've been making videos now consistently for a year and a half. I don't make any money from them. Please keep doing this. It helps me a lot. Thank you. De nada, Gabriel. Eu vou continuar. Eu vou continuar. Yeah, so what I want to say is a huge thank you to everyone that's been part of the channel over the journey, even if you've just subscribed yesterday or you've been part of it from the start. Huge thank you to everyone that is part of the channel. Your comments, your feedback, your great feedback is what motivates me to continue doing these videos. My mission is to make English pronunciation accessible for anyone to learn, anyone that wants to learn to speak better English. I want to provide the resources for them to be able to do it and make it accessible and affordable and free at the point of access. So that's why I'm here doing these videos, because I know the difference that it makes. It really can make a massive difference to your confidence in English, to your self-confidence, to your opportunities if you're using the language for business or to get ahead in your career. And also if you're traveling, it makes a massive difference as well for being able to travel and actually go out there and have a good time and speak the language with confidence when you're abroad. So if you're ever in London or England or any other countries around the world that speak English, then speaking with good pronunciation will make a massive difference in helping you to have a good time here. So you're all going to be speaking excellent pronunciation as a result of following this tutorial and being part of the channel. So thank you for your continued support. Keep the comments coming, keep the support coming, keep doing the work yourself. Thank you. I really hope it's going to get huge too. I'm going to keep doing the work. I'm going to do whatever I need to keep making it grow. For me, it's just a long-term investment in the change that I want to see in the world, I guess. I want to see English being more accessible and good quality English education being more accessible. Having lived abroad myself and actually taught English abroad as well, I've seen that oftentimes what's taught abroad isn't necessarily really good, and that certainly pronunciation is usually overlooked. So my vision is I know pronunciation and I know how to help people to learn it well. So if I can help people on YouTube where it's accessible from all around the world, then that should give people like yourselves that want to make a big difference and improve your own English pronunciation the opportunity to do so. So any other questions, now's the time to ask. If not, thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do subscribe and also turn notifications on so you do get notified when the next tutorials come out. Next tutorial will be coming out this time on Wednesday. So that will be a Wednesday evening if you're maybe in the Far East or in one of the time zones that's plus many hours compared to London. But it'll be coming out similar time on Wednesday. That's going to be on the A tutorial, the A diphthong in English, as in hey or may or say. So tune in for that. For now, you know what to do, and have a great week. Any questions, ask them, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Another tutorial, live tutorial like this at 9 a.m. UK time next Monday. So I look forward to seeing you for that. Have a great week, and I will see you then.